You're alright there, folks. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Nice to see you. How are we all doing? How did we all get on in day 4? We should have all got some winners. Me personally, I managed to cash that double and the single. We had Mensah and Shang, and then Djokovic minus the 4.5. Dead easy. Easiest day so far. I'm quite happy with that. As a matter of fact, I'm very happy with that. Let me know in the comments, did you take the picks? Did you add them to your own? Did you do something completely different? Either way, do share with the group, don't be shy. We've got to get into the quarterfinals really fast. Before we do, like the video if you would, subscribe if you're not. Also, put your notifications on. I can't believe I haven't mentioned that since the start of the channel. You know, these tournaments are throughout the year, they're all over the world, and so are you. So, click the bell, stick them on. I will try and get these out as early as I can. You know, I haven't really got a solid schedule at the moment with work, and so sometimes I do them before, sometimes I do them after, you know. But if you put your notifications on, you won't miss them, will you? So do yourself a favour and do that. If you want to support the channel, you can also do that as well. Link is in the description and the pinned comment. Let's talk about some tennis. Now that's out the way, first off, in Brisbane, we've got Nicholas Yari Lehechka, getting Lehechka around 1.4 on the decimal, head-to-head 2-1 to Lehechka. He did beat him in, I think it was this very tournament. No, it wasn't. It was in Adelaide. It was the start of the season, pretty much the exact same setting. Start of last year, 6-4, 7-5. And then the other two both came on the clay in 2021 on the Challenger Tour. Now, you'd expect Yuri Lehechka to win this, wouldn't you? Me personally, I would. I'm just going to stay well away from this one because I didn't expect Yari to get past Bonzi, and I didn't expect him. Who did he play in his first game? Fuck, I forgot. Navona, yeah, we knew he was going to smoke him. I didn't think he'd get past Bonzi, and he looked really good doing it too. Lehechka, you know, depending on how you feel about it, he somewhat pulled off the upset against Holger Rune, and then just about got it done against Nishioka. There was times in that game when I watched it where it looked like the tide was most definitely turning. Like I said, 1.4, you'd feel like Lehechka would have more than enough in the bag to get this one done. Nicholas Yari, these courts really do suit his serve, even though he's not technically a hard court player. He's got a big serve, really good forehand. It seems to be the story of the week, doesn't it? Can you neutralise the serve? I think he can, definitely. I think you can trust in Yuri Lehechka on the return game, but at 1.4, I mean, Nico Yari hasn't dropped the set yet. He hasn't dropped the set. I'd love to put some money on Lehechka. It's a perfect parlay piece, but I just can't. I just can't. There's no reason for me to go against Nicholas Yari. The fact that he still is quite surprising to me, but he clearly deserves to be so. There's nothing for me on that. If you've got anything, please do let me know. And then, moving on, we've got Jordan Thompson, Grigor Dimitrov, call it 1.4. Well, it is 1.4 for Dimitrov, head-to-head's 2-1. Now, he did beat Jordan Thompson in this very tournament, in this very spot, last season. Because as we've mentioned previously, Dimitrov did win the title here last year. I think he beats him again. I know we've said all week, you know, it's probably a bad time to play Jordan Thompson. He does like playing here, but so does Dimitrov. He probably enjoys it more. As a matter of fact, he definitely does. Excuse me. Did we see that game with Alex Michelsen? Did you watch Jordan Thompson and Alex Michelsen? Michelsen was 5-2 up in the first set, and it was love 40 with set points. And he lost the first set. Was it 7-5? Oh, it's criminal. It's so criminal, innit? Like, how do you do that? good shit from Thompson, don't get me wrong, but you have to agree with me. In fact, you can't deny it that if that was Grigor Dimitrov today, there is no chance he's dropping that first set. Absolutely zero chance. Even if, for whatever reason, he flapped that game and it was love 40 and Thompson pulled it back, Grigor Dimitrov's winning that set 6-3. Every day of the week. And then obviously he managed to pull it back and win the second set. He was done for, weren't he? That first set was curtains. I can't believe he managed to pull it back. So lucky, so lucky. And I can't help but think that if Dimitrov takes that first set, which he very, very well likely do, I think nothing's impossible, but I think it's going to be extremely difficult for Thompson to pull that one back. Dimitrov's well better. Jordan Thompson's B2. Who did he beat? His first two games. Berrettini. Well, he dropped a set against Berrettini, ended up coming back and winning that one. Dimitrov's well better than Berrettini. He just is. He's well better than him. And then obviously the game against Alex Michelsen, even though Michelsen is up and coming, he is nowhere near, and I repeat, nowhere near the level of Grigor Dimitrov. Seen a lot of people putting money on Jordan Thompson today, and I wish you the best of luck, but I don't think there's no way. I don't. Okay, like, you'll have the crowd, and that does play a very small factor, but there's just levels, isn't he? There's levels. I think Dimitrov is a lot more, I wouldn't say a lot more trustworthy on the hard court because Thompson's decent on it too, but Dimitrov's just better. He's just better all around, I think. Excuse me, fucking hell. Yeah, it'd have to be. Am I going to put Zoe on it? I want to do it. I want to stick him on a parlay. I'm certain Dimitrov beats him. I'm certain Grigor Dimitrov beats Thompson tomorrow. I really am. He didn't even face a break point against Alexander Vukic. He didn't. He hasn't dropped a set. 2-0 against Hanfman, 2-0 against Vukic. Thompson was lucky to get past Berrettini, and he was very lucky to get past Michelsen today. I don't know what happened. But, yeah, I can't help but think that this is the end of the line for Jordan Thompson. I'm not going to touch it, just in case there's some Australian magic in the air tomorrow, but I can't see it. I can't see a world where Thompson beats him. I really don't. I think Dimitrov's got more than enough. In fact, I think he's got too much. Too much for Thompson to deal with. He may keep it close, Would I be surprised if Thompson took a set off him? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. But even still, I don't even think it'll get to that point. I think Dimitrov does it. I really do. And then, third one, we've got Giovanni and Pecci Pericard, Jakob Mensah. This is a pretty much split right down the middle. I'm getting Pecci Pericard at 1.8, is it? Yeah, he's at 1.8 right now as I'm recording this. He looks so good against Tiafoe, didn't he? He made Tiafoe look so fucking well. He didn't make him look crap, he just made that game look so easy. So easy. I know a lot of us expected him to win. Some of yous even took him to win. I weren't brave enough. I had a feeling he'd win a set. I didn't think he'd make it look as easy as he did. Gio's already beat Mensah before. That was in 2023 on the clay. Close game as well. And would you look at that? The two sets that he won with two tiebreakers. Mensah, as we know, really good on the hard court. Garbage in the next gens. But at the start of the season off right, he's beat Kukushkin in straight sets, and we knew he was going to beat Lazovic. Like I said yesterday, you can't be getting beat by him on the hard court, even though he did get broken by him. So, there is that. Pecci Pericard, that game against Kyrgios, he hasn't dropped his serve yet. He hasn't been broke once all tournament. 3 tiebreakers with Kyrgios, and then He didn't get broke once against Tiafoe either. He looks so solid. You don't need me to talk about the serve because we all know it's probably, well, let's face it, it's the best on the tour, innit? It's so hard to deal with. It really is. But not only that, he looked really confident. Attacking wise, he did that backhand was so good. He was just slapping balls each and every direction. You couldn't get to them. Very, very powerful. Jakub Mensah. I knew he beat Kukushkin. I knew he beat Lazovic. These are like, how old's Kukushkin now? Kukushkin's 37 years old. Dusan Lazovic is 34 years old. Enough said. I think he's going to struggle against Gio. I really do. Like I say, it probably will be a close one. You probably will get a couple tiebreakers, if not 3 tiebreakers. I wouldn't be surprised. I think just going off of how Gio beat Tiafoe last night, I can't help but think that this kid is just in flow state. He looked really good. He looked really strong, really good. I would expect him to get it done against Mensah. I really would. I mean, going off the results, you'd go, oh, Mensah's give you no reason to go against him. I know he hasn't, but he's been playing against 2 people like Kukushkin was pretty much already done. Now he's come back for a bit. Dusan Lazovic, like I mentioned, no offence, but he's past it. He's well past it. He can't play on the hard court. Tiafoe on the other hand, though, like he can definitely play on the hard court. And look, it wasn't. I say he made it look easy. It wasn't an easy win by any stretch of the imagination, but I didn't expect it to go the way it did. I was very, very impressed with Gio. He finished the season off very strong. He won the title in Switzerland. And then he started this one off really, really good too. He looks hard to beat. Really hard to beat. I'll be willing. You know what? At 1.8, a few hours ago, this was at 1.6. It started off split down the middle, went all the way to 1.6, and now it's back at 1.8. And I'll be honest with you, folks, I'm more than willing to roll a dice on that. I really am. I'm going to be taking Gio on the money line. 1.8, I'm happy with it. More than happy with that. I can feel us warming up. I don't want to get too carried away, but I feel like we're most definitely getting into a rhythm. I think we can get Gio while he's hot at that price. Gotta be, Anna, surely. Let me know what you think if you're having a go on that. And then there's another game, isn't there? Oh, look, Djokovic and Riley Opelka. Spread's the same. If it matters to anyone, 4.5. I don't know. Well, he probably will cover it. It's got to be Djokovic in straight sets. I'm not touching it. There's just no value in it whatsoever. If you need just a tiny parlay booster, take him in straight. I watched Opelka beat Arnaldi last night, and you know what? Fair play to him, but fuck me, was that boring. That was a boring game. You know what? Like watching someone get save-botted in a game of tennis is the equivalent of those Eastern Europeans in the UFC that just fucking grapple people and hug them for 15 minutes. It's a double-edged sword. If you've got money on it, you're more than happy for it to happen. But if you're watching it as a neutral, it's quite boring. It's quite boring. Don't want to take anything away from Riley Opelka though. Let me just add, for those that may not know, this lad was in the top 20 not so long ago, so fair play to him for coming back. Started the season off perfect as well, even though it is quite one-dimensional. I'll give him that, but it seems to be working. Unfortunately, I think it's the end of the road. As a matter of fact, it definitely is. He definitely doesn't beat Djokovic tomorrow, not a chance. So that's it for Brisbane. We'll go through Hong Kong really quick. If you're still watching and you're not subscribed, do yourself a favour, subscribe, like the video as well. That'll do me a favour. Where do we start? I've got Alexander Muller, Art of Feast, 1.3 for Art of Feast on the decimal, head to head, 1-0 to Muller. That was in Rome, I think. Was that in Rome? Yeah, that was in Rome last year on the clay. He beat him in straight sets, which is quite interesting because the majority, well, both of these players do the majority of their business on the clay courts. You know, Alexander Muller definitely prefers the clay. Artifice, it's hard to say what he prefers because he's very fresh. He's only, what, 5 seasons in? Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is his 5th season on the tour. So it's hard to really say what he's suited to, but he has played the majority of his games on the clay. Hard court record, it's fairly decent. It's a very small sample size. He tends to do a lot better indoors than outdoors, but in this spot, you've got to fancy him to beat Alexander Muller. He barely got past Marc-Andre Hussler. He barely got past Kekmanovic. He faced about fucking, I'm sure it was 10 break points in that match against Kekmanovic too. Very dicey. It's very dicey indeed. Artifice managed to get past Zizou Bergs. Now, I know we touched on his rather poor performance in the next gens. He was the favourite to win that tournament. He didn't even qualify for the knockouts. I think that he's more than willing to try and redeem himself here. It was a decent win against Zizou Bergs, but it was nothing special. It really wasn't. And for him to be, it's barely 1.3. The fact that Muller's beat him fairly recently as well. It's rough. I don't see him beating him on the hard court. It's similar to the Shang and Pedro Martinez thing last night. Clay's different, innit? The clay is so different. And I'd be willing to say that Artifice, even though it is a very small sample size, he is the better hardcore player. Indoors, no doubt, he's shit hot indoors, but do you take him? It's gotta be. It's Artifice or not, and like I say, it's a very short price. I'm probably not gonna be touching it, just in case, because we know Artifice can be very aggressive, sometimes just a little bit too aggressive, and it is two Frenchies, which is something that we haven't had to deal with. Well, apart from Bonzi getting beat the other day, but actually no, we didn't. I didn't bet on him, did I? No, it doesn't matter. Forget about it. Yeah, we haven't had to deal with the French fuckery yet, so maybe I am just gonna stay away because I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. I would expect Artifice to win. Surely he gets to the semi-finals. Can't see him getting beat myself, but just in case he does, I'm just going to stay away from it. At 1.3, it's just not enough for me. And you know what, it's the same with this one. I seen both of these this morning and I went, oh, it's a perfect parlay. Lorenzo Musetti and Artifice is a perfect parlay, and you know what, it probably is. I would not talk you off sticking those two on a parlay at all. Odds are roughly the same. Now we thought we expected Musetti to beat Diallo, didn't we? And I don't know if anyone watched it, but he looked really good. He's also shaved all his hair off as well, which, he's went full taxi driver for the start of the season. That's quite cool. I'm all for it. Gabe Diallo, he's not exactly like the hottest prospect, is he? And there's no offence, but there's a lot to that lad's game that needs work. Like his backhand, I noticed there's it's quite lacking, to say the least. It's a lot better than mine, obviously, but if I'm being honest, we're trying to win some money here, aren't we? And I feel like that getting that win over Diallo wasn't exactly as big of a feat as people are making it out to be. Yeah, Musetti looked good, but you can't deny the results of Jami Munar. I didn't think he stood a chance against Davidovich Fokina on the hard court. He beat him in 3. I definitely didn't think he was going to beat Nuno Boge, and he smoked him in 2. Barely faced the break point. He's so tricky. He's been playing really well. You know, if you look at his hard court record, it's not that good. It's not. It's never been that good. He's had one or two decent seasons. You're going back 2 years when he had a positive hard court record, and then I think that was the only one in the past 6 years, 6 or 7 years. Yeah, 5-9 last year, 1-7 the year before. And if you look at the wins as well, you know, Vasily, Shevchenko, Hugo Gaston, Sonego, and then Hugo Gaston again. No. So the fact that he's still in this tournament is very surprising to me. Yeah, yeah. I haven't even watched any of the games, but statistic wise, they look fairly solid. Lorenzo Musetti, you have to agree with me. He is the definition of a 50-50 player on the indoor hard court. 51 and 46 is a career total, and then 42 and 37 on the indoor court. You know what I mean? That's basically just a fucking 50-50 in it. And the fact that he got past Gabe Diallo, which I expected anyway, if he was to lose this second game, I don't think he. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think he'll be too much for Munar. But just in case he was to somehow lose this game to Jeremy Munar, statistically that would make sense. Given he's very 50-50 on the hard court, if he won his first one, he loses his second one, I'd go, oh, well, okay, maybe that's right. I'd, maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. Like I said, it's probably free money to go for Musetti and to go for Artifice tomorrow on a parlay. I wish it was as clear cut as that, but there's something putting me off. And with that being said, I'm just going to stay away. I really am. We've got Madison and Shang, and then Nishikori and Nori to finish us off. So, as you probably noticed from the pin comments anyway, I'm not touching either of these, but I Madison beat Rublev, man. Can you fucking believe that? Can you believe? Look, I didn't bet on Rublev, and I feel for those that did, but what the fuck? What is going on? I'd say you can't write it, but you just knew it was going to happen, didn't you? Ah, Shang looked really good against Martinez. He wasted him. Absolutely fucked him up. I'd expect him to beat Marazan. I think it'd be a very close game, head to head, 2-1. Marazan was the last one to win in that matchup. It was on the hard court as well, I'm sure it was. Getting Fabio Marazan at 2.3 on the decimal, that's not a bad dog pick considering how good he is playing at the moment. But so Shang. Shang is one who was most definitely on the warpath since that stinker in the next gens. So fair play to him. I hope he wins. I would like him to win also. I mean, although I am quite the Marazan fan as well. You've just got to trust Shang on the hard court. A lot more trustworthy as a matter of fact. Let me just get his record up there quick. Where is it? Where are you? 25 and 10 last year, 50 and 11 for Marazan, 2 and 6 indoors, and then 3 and 7 indoors for Shang. I'd say you can trust him. You should be able to trust him. Hasn't dropped the set. Marazan did drop onto Rublev, but Rublev's mind just fucking exploded once again, didn't it? And he just flapped the game away for whatever reason. It's a shame. It is a shame. I'd lean towards Shang. If anything, I'd lean towards Shang, but don't be surprised if Madison pulls the upset there. Really don't. And then wrapping us up dead quick because I want to watch the darts. Kai Nishikori, Cam Norrie. Now Nishikori's a favourite in this. The head-to-head is 2-0. I think Cam Norrie's a better player. Am I being fucking stupid and saying like, do you not agree with me? I don't know. Maybe I haven't really thought about it. I think Cam Norrie's just a better player. I do, even though he's never beat him. He looked really good against Sonego. I know it's Lorenzo Sonego, but you know, Sonego's not a bad player. He looked good against Lerner Tien. Decent against Sonego. The sets he won, he fucking battered him as well. What were they? Let me just check. 6-2 and 6-1. Yeah. What I noticed as well, he was very good on the return. He was returning pretty much everything. I would imagine it'll be more of the same here. The fact that he's an under, He's only a slight dog. It's not like totally disrespectful. I do get it, but look, Nishikori should be Kachinov. I mean, these Russians have had a stinker of a start, haven't they? Kachinov choking that game away against Nishikori, Rublev choking his game away against Marizan, even Roman Safulin. You know what I mean? He got Fabio Marizan's done two. He's killed two Russians off already for his first two matches. That's fucking funny, that. But yeah, last year it was the Americans couldn't win a game. This year it's clearly the Russians. And then he smoked El Chapo as well, which, let's not talk about that. I've forgotten about that. It's irrelevant in it nowadays. Um, I wouldn't mind Norrie for a set if you had to bet it. If you've got a bet it and you've got nothing else to do, I'd take Norrie for a set. I wouldn't even mind just sprinkling on him just to win the match. I really wouldn't. Like I said, I'm not touching it. I think Norrie's the better player. Do with that as you will. And that's going to do us for tonight, folks. Right then. As you already know, one official from me tonight, just a single. Trying to keep it hot. Gonna go with Chio on the money line, 1.8. I don't mind that. I'll have that. That'll do me. Let me know what you're going for. Best bets, all that shit. Get involved, share with the group. And I'll be saying good night to you. Thanks for watching, taking the time. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Take it easy. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Continue to get that cash. Enjoy the tennis, and I'll see you tomorrow.